Assalamu alaikum, 1 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Ghazi. First, the headlines. OIC summit in Mecca has called for constituting a UN commission of inquiry to investigate the grave human rights violations in occupied Kashmir. DGISPR says 3 army officers who were sentenced on charges of their involvement in spying have been handed over to jail authorities. In Afghanistan, 8 police officers have been killed in a suicide car bombing in Ghazni province. South Africa will take on Bangladesh in the 5th match of ICC Cricket World Cup in London today. Now the news in detail. The 14th session of the OIC summit in Mecca has called for adoption of a comprehensive strategy to combat Islamophobia, building on proposals made by Pakistan in the OIC Ministerial Executive Committee meeting in March this year. The conference also reiterated principled support for the legitimate right to self-determination of the people of Jammu and Kashmir in accordance with the UN resolutions. It also called for establishment of a UN Commission of Inquiry to investigate the grave human rights violations and urged India to allow the Commission and other international organizations access to occupied Kashmir. Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Maliha Lodi, says Pakistan remains vulnerable to climate change and in the past 4 decades, 90% natural disasters it faced can be attributed to climate change. This, she stated while talking to UN Secretary General's Special Envoy on Climate Action Summit 2019 in New York. Maliha Lodi also apprised him about Pakistan's priorities and Billion Tree Tsunami program. 3 army officers who were sentenced on 30th of last month on charges of their involvement in spying have been handed over to jail authorities. According to DGISPR, convicted had been arrested on intelligence information about their involvement in leaking secret information and remained under military custody throughout their respective trial. U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan Reconciliation, Zalmay Khalilzad, is in Islamabad to hold meetings with Pakistan leadership as part of effort to facilitate a peace process that ends the conflict in Afghanistan. He is on a 2-week journey to Afghanistan, Belgium, Germany, Pakistan, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates to build international support for the Afghan peace process and endeavor to ensure that any peace settlement reached will be sustainable. In Doha, he will continue talks with the Taliban to move the peace process forward. In Afghanistan, 8 police officers were killed and 7 others wounded in a suicide car bombing that targeted a police station in Ghazni province. Official sources said blast happened when a hijacked military vehicle packed with explosives struck to Provincial Reserve Police Force station in Asfandi area, some 6 kilometers to the provincial capital Ghazni city. Meanwhile, 1 person was killed and several others wounded after serial bomb blasts rocked capital Kabul today. China says latest U.S. tariffs on its imports will not resolve 2 countries' trade issues, and United States bears responsibility for setbacks in the talks process. A policy paper published by Chinese government said Beijing can ensure good momentum for sustained economic development and economic prospects for the country are extremely optimistic. In occupied Kashmir, thousands of mourners attended funeral prayers of 2 youth martyred by Indian troops in a village in South Kashmir's Shopian district. Cricket. The fifth match of ICC Cricket World Cup will be played between Bangladesh and South Africa at London today. The match will start at 2:30 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Pakistan will play its second match against England at Nottingham tomorrow. Radio Pakistan will broadcast live updates of ICC World Cup matches on its FM 101 network. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log in onto our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.